Senators to oppose this bill.
Thank you, Senator Linehelm. Senator Lazarus.
Thank you, Mr President. As the Leader of the Palm United Party in the Senate, I would like to announce on behalf of my fellow Palm United colleagues, Senators Lambie and Wang and Senator Muir of the Australian Motor Enthusiast Party, our clear and unequivocal support for this bill. We are in the midst of difficult and challenging times. The global unrest is at an all-time high. The unrest is both coordinated and uncoordinated and being experienced throughout all levels of society across many countries. In Australia, as a nation, we have upgraded our alert levels in response to this unrest. Upgrading our alert levels is important. However, it is also imperative that we have the power, capacity, resources and capability to respond to risks, and importantly risks which are far more covert, sinister and veiled than risks traditionally encountered in the global environment. We must provide our people and organisations responsible for maintaining and protecting the safety and security of our country with the necessary support to undertake their role with confidence, quickness, certainty, diligence and precision. This bill will modernise and improve the ability of ASIO and ASIS to undertake their work in protecting the safety and security of our country, and it will also enhance our country's capability to penalise those who compromise the safety and security of our country. It is imperative that Australia has the capacity to protect our shores. Not only do we need this level of capacity for our people on a day-to-day basis, we also need this capacity given increased risks around high-profile events such as the upcoming G20 summit. Last week, I awakened to the fact that we had some 800 police across Queensland and New South Wales conducting raids. The police had received intelligence regarding threats on the safety of everyday Australians. The intelligence suggested that members of a terrorist group living in Australia were plotting to harm innocent people at random in order to gain media coverage for their cause. I would like to thank the federal and state police for their work in foiling this terror plot on our home soil. It should be noted that this work was also supported by the work of ASIO and ASIS in securing the necessary intelligence to inform relevant authorities of risk and need to act. While we support this bill, I would also like to inform the Chamber and the people of Australia of our intent to take additional steps to further strengthen Australia's safety and security capabilities by introducing an amendment to strengthen the penalties for everyone or anyone who exposes the identity of an ASIO or ASIS officer. We are in the midst of difficult and challenging times. Not only has our country become the target of extremists who seek to hurt us and hinder our way of life, we are also contributing to an international campaign to reduce the threat and impact of terrorism globally, which is raising the potential for attack against our country. The threat is real, it is concerning, and we must act quickly, decisively and comprehensively to protect the safety and security of our wonderful country. The reality is that the threat of attack is coming from both outside our country and from within. The reality is advancement in technology and communication masking means the world is a very different place, and those seeking to attack have the benefit of complex and highly sophisticated technology. It is for this reason that our country should and must increase our capacity to deal with these threats and provide the people and the organisations charged with protecting our shores with the necessary tools, rights, capabilities and powers to keep our country safe. The brave and hard-working men and women keeping our country safe are undertaking at times extremely dangerous and highly sensitive work. Many are putting their own lives at risk to protect our country and our way of life. We cannot expect these brave men and women to protect us to the fullest extent possible with their hands tied behind their back. These men and women need all the support and capability necessary to perform their roles with precision, professionalism and success. We cannot and must not compromise on this. Many of these men and women work undercover, take part in special operations and participate in activities which require high levels of secrecy. The anonymity is key to their success and safety, and the safety and the security of this country. And yet, despite this, as the legislation stands, if a person discloses the identity of an ASIO or ASIS officer, the penalty for doing so is only a maximum of 1 year's jail. This is a trivial penalty for a significant breach of trust. By exposing the identity of an ASIO or ASIS officer, not only are you compromising the safety and security of the officer working to protect our country, you are also directly compromising the safety and security of this country. Further, once the identity of the ASIO or ASIS officer is exposed, the officer can no longer work in the industry. Their career is effectively over. That is why the Palm United Party, along with the Motor Enthusiast Party, is putting forward an amendment to strengthen the penalties in this area. We must take the safety and security of our country seriously. We must take the most care possible to ensure the safety of those working hard to protect us. We must afford them the highest level of security. Therefore, we are recommending that the penalty for disclosing the identity of an ASIO or ASIS officer or affiliates is increased from a light penalty of up to 1 year's jail to a serious crime of up to 10 years in jail. Exposing the identity of an ASIO or ASIS officer should be a serious offence, and the penalty should be sufficient to warn people off engaging in such a stupid and dangerous act. Exposing the identity of an ASIO or ASIS officer is a serious breach of national security and should be treated accordingly. In summary, I love Australia, I love our way of life, and I love our freedom. I, along with all Australians, feel that our great country must be protected. Many people have fought and died for our great country. Everyone in this chamber has a responsibility to ensure that we act to protect the interests of all Australians and to ensure we enable our country with the capability to keep our country safe and secure. I would like to note that the safety and security of our country must be balanced with human rights and the need for our people to enjoy reasonable levels of privacy. But safety and security must come first. Let's ensure we continue to protect our great country and give those protecting our great country the resources, capabilities, power and scope to do their job and do it well. The Palm United Party supports this bill, and we seek the Chamber's support of our amendment to further strengthen the safety and security of those protecting our country.
Thank you, Senator.